excited that you are here with me today, and I am really pumped about getting to start these weekly videos with you. We are going to dive into God's Word together. We are going to have some fun. We're going to learn scripture. We're going to do lots of fun different activities. So I'm so glad that you're joining me, and let's get started. Now, if you don't already have these with you, go ahead and you're going to need 3 things, okay? Go ahead, if you don't already have them, go ahead and grab your box. It's got lots of different supplies that we're going to need, your Bibles, and then you're probably going to want a pen or a pencil. So go ahead and get those things and come back and we're going to get started. Let's go ahead and let's open up our time together by praying, by talking to God. So, you know how we do it? Hands up, bring them down, and let's pray. Dear Jesus, thank you so much for this day. Thank you for my friends that are joining me at home. Thank you that we can still be together and learn from your word. Lord, I pray that we would listen to what you have to tell us. Lord, may we love you even more today than we did yesterday. Jesus, we love you. Thank you for all your blessings. Pray these things in your name. Amen. All right, well, today and this whole week, I want you to keep one big idea in mind. We're going to be looking at it in our Bible lesson today, and that is that God always loves us. So God always loves us and provides what we need. So keep that in mind. Now, throughout this whole video, I'm going to say, God always loves you. And whenever I say that, I have something for you to do. So when I say that, I want you to go, wow, God. Now, it can't be some, wow, God. So I want some energy, okay? So let's practice, all right? God always loves you. And what are you going to do? Wow, God. Yes, I want you to do it. Even though you're at home, I want you to do this with me. So as we are spending our time together, remember that God always loves you. And He provides what you need. So, let's try one more time. God always loves you. Wow, God. All right. Well, we are going to sing a couple of songs together. So go ahead and stand up, get some wiggle room around you, and let's sing.
Come on, clap your hands. Here we go. That's it. Here to spread the love of God to everyone. Gonna get a little crazy, yeah, a little wild. Here we go now, come give it a try. Move it to the left now. Move it to the right. Find someone you don't know and give them a high five. Stomp your feet louder. Yeah, you guys are doing awesome. Wave your hands up high. Somebody else now.
All right, guys, what a great time it is always to worship God through singing. Now, feel free to go back and watch these videos again, sing along with it again. Go ahead and share with me some of your favorite songs that maybe we can play and sing with together. Now, I have a question for you, and I want you to take a minute and think about it, okay? So, here's my question. What is the coolest thing that someone has made for you, and why? All right, so think about that. What is the coolest thing that someone has ever made for you, and why? Well, I was thinking about what is something really cool is made for me, and I thought I have this quilt that my grandmother made for me, and she stitched all this by hand, and she does a great job making quilts. And I love it because it's starting to get a little bit colder now. We're in the fall, and so I've pulled out this quilt and I put it on my bed. So every time I see it, I think about my grandma and how much time she spent doing that and making that quilt, and it makes me just remember how much she loves me. I also really like when any of you guys draw me pictures or send me cards. I have a spot in my office where I like to put them all up and look at them because it makes me think about you guys, remember you, and it just shows that, you know, hey, they thought about me, and that's really cool. So what is the coolest thing that someone's ever made for you? I would love to hear about it, so you can either take a picture of it, make me a video, send it to me. I'd love to hear about it. So what is the coolest thing that anyone's ever made for you, and then why? What makes it cool? All right. So remember how I mentioned earlier that we're going to be talking today about how God always loves you. Wow, God. Yes. So guys, every time we come together and we learn, we always look at God's Word. So if you have your Bibles, go ahead and get them out for me. So we'll have them out together. And we are going to be looking at the very beginning of the Bible. We're going to be in Genesis in just a minute. Now the Bible is just an amazing thing. Because guys, it's different than any other book because it is God's Word to us. This is how God tells us what we need to know about who we are, who He is, and what Jesus did for us. Guys, this whole book is just a story, a true story of God's love for us. And God always loves us. Yeah, I hope you're doing it. Wow, God. So guys, we are going to spend time every single week looking at the Bible, reading it, and learning about God's love for us. So we're going to begin in the book of Genesis. And Genesis is the very first book of the Bible. So you don't have to open it too far, but go ahead and go to Genesis. Now the word Genesis actually means beginning. So the very beginning. We're going to go back and we're going to look at a story that maybe you've heard a lot. And you're like, oh, Miss Pam, are we really going to talk about this again? We do this all the time. But guys, we need to go back to the very beginning. It doesn't matter how many times you maybe hear the same story. There's always something more that we can learn about God. Now we're going to look here in Genesis. We're going to look in the first chapter, the very first book of the Bible. And we're going to see the story of how God created the world. Guys, He created everything we see around us, and we see how He created it and that it was good. So let's look in Genesis chapter 1, verse 1. It says, in the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. The earth was without form and void, and darkness was over the face of the deep. And the Spirit of God was hovering over the face of the waters. And then in verse 3, we see that there is nothing, but God was. And in the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. Guys, God created all the things that we see around us. He is all powerful. And in chapter 1, verse 3, we see that we start seeing how God created all these different things on different days. So we call this like the days of creation. So let's see do you guys know what God created on day 1? What is it? Shout out. You know? All right, well, let's look and check verse 3. So, and God said, let there be light. And there was light. And God saw that the light was good. And God separated the light from the darkness. God called the light day, and the darkness He called night. And there was evening, and there was morning, the first day. So on the very first day, God created the light. In the darkness, he created day and night. Guys, such a cool thing. We're like, okay, day and night. That was huge. God created light out of nothing. And then on day 2, we see that God said, let there be an expanse in the midst of the waters, and let it separate the waters from the waters. So we see in this verse on day 2, God created the skies and the waters. So he divided that. Now I love to go to the ocean and look out and see all the waves come on, crash on the beach. And I love to, when I'm going outside on a sunny day and taking a great big breath and looking up at the sky. So guys, on day 2, God created that. Now I love studying science. Maybe you guys don't like that subject too much in school, but I love it because when we look at the things that God created, they point back to him. When we think about the sky, God he made the beautiful blue sky and there's clouds, but he also created something, we call it the atmosphere, the air around us. We can't really see it, but it is really, really important. Take a big breath with me, ready? Hold it and let it out. Did you just know you breathed in air, in this atmosphere? Now, part of it, all this air around us, is made up of different kinds of particles, and one of those is oxygen. We need oxygen in order for us to live. And it's really cool, guys, is that God made the air with just the right amount of oxygen that our bodies would need. Here it shows that God always loves us. Wow, God, yeah. And he provides what we need. He made sure that the air that was around us would be exactly what we need to breathe. Now we can look down in verse 9 and we can see what God made on day 3. And God said, let the waters under the heavens be gathered together into one place, and let the dry land appear. So now we've got the waters, we have the sky. Now God is creating this dry land, the earth that we're standing on right now. But he didn't just have dry ground. He also, in verse 11, says, God said, let the earth sprout vegetation, plants yielding seed, and fruit trees bearing fruit, in which is their seed, each according to its kind on the earth. So on day 3, God created the dry land, but he also created all the plants. Maybe you guys have some plants in your yard. When you're outside later today, I want you to look around and see all the different plants that maybe you have. Trees, bushes, flowers. Maybe you guys have some pumpkins around because it's fall. Maybe you've seen some acorns, some leaves are starting to fall. Guys, God created all the plants. He also created the fruits and the vegetables that our bodies need. So when we look at God's creation, God always loves us, and he provides exactly what we need. He made sure that we have the fruits and vegetables that our bodies would need to grow and to function or to work the way they're supposed to. So that was on day 3. We see on day 4, we read later on that on day 4, God created the sun, the moon, and the stars. And those are guys, those are pretty amazing things. And maybe if you've seen the stars out in the sky, you ever tried to count them? There's too many to count. But it's so cool. I love looking at the stars and seeing that just God's power, how amazing he is to just create all those different stars. Now, in verse 5, on day 5, we see that in verse 20. This is what God created on verse 10. Maybe some of your favorite things on day 5. This is what he created. And God said, let the waters swarm with swarms of living creatures, and let birds fly above the earth across the expanse of the heavens. So on day 5, we see that God created all the fish and the animals that live in the water, and all the birds. Now, if you know Miss Pam, you know I actually do not like birds. I'm actually kind of afraid of them. I don't know why, but it just is. But God created the birds. And while I don't like them, I think they are really pretty. There's all kinds of different birds that God made, all kinds of cool sea creatures and animals, and we are actually going to be looking and learning about different animals as we go through our weeks together like this. But on day 5, God created the birds and all the creatures that are in the water. So I want you to think about, what is your favorite, maybe ocean animal that you like? Maybe it's a shark, or an octopus, or a pufferfish, a crab. I want to know, what is your favorite animal? You're going to hear what mine is very soon. All right, so now we come to day 6, and that's later in the chapter 1. So verse 24 through 26, and we see that during this time that God created all the other animals. So all the animals that live on land. So our dogs and our cats and elephants, and what other animals do we have? We've got giraffes, and we have donkeys and horses and cows and goats and sheep, all those other animals. Now, I do want to know, what is your favorite animal? So I want you to tell me. Send me a video, send me a picture. Tell me if you see me at church. I want to know, what is your favorite animal? Now, next week, we're going to see that God also created something else pretty amazing on day 6. But we're going to stop right here for today. Guys, I love looking at the story of creation. I've read this many times. I've taught this story many times. But guys, when we look at it, we can see that God always loves us. And He provides exactly what we need. He provided the air for us to breathe, the food for us to eat, animals that we can love and have as pets, land for us to walk on, water to drink. God shows His love for us in creation. So this week, make sure you take some time to go outside, look at His creation, and to thank Him for it. Let's go ahead and pray and thank God for that right now. Dear Jesus, thank you so much for your word. Thank you for the Bible. Thank you that we can learn about the story of creation. Lord, thank you that you loved us so much and you created everything that we need. Lord, thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you for all that you do for us, all your blessings. May we not forget your love for us. Jesus, we love you. Probably things in your name. Amen. Hey guys, every single month we are going to have a special Bible buddy who will come help us memorize a verse from God's Word. Now, I am super excited about this month's animal because it is my favorite animal. Can you guess what it is? Maybe you did. I don't know if you looked at these clues, but it is a giraffe. It is my absolute favorite animal. Now, I am going to let our Bible buddy introduce themselves to you, so let's go ahead and watch this video and learn who our Bible buddy is and a few fun facts about giraffes.
Hey there, friends. Glad I spotted you down there. I'm Savannah, and guess where I live? On the savannah. You'll find me and my family on the open plains throughout a few countries on the continent of Africa. We giraffes like to hang out among the trees on the savannah. Trees are my go-to hide-and-seek spot. Get it? Spot? Can't find me? You're getting closer. Here I am. Young giraffes are called calves, but they don't moo like those other calves. We love leaves. They're our favorite snack. And since giraffes are the tallest animals on the planet, it's a breeze to just reach up and grab a bite. So good. My long neck reminds me of God's love. It keeps going and going. In the Bible, book of Ephesians, chapter 3, verse 18, it says, "And may you have the power to understand, as all God's people should, how wide, how long, how high, and how deep His love is." God always loves us. You don't have to be super tall like me to see His love for you. God created the world for us to live in. We can read about it in the first book of the Bible called Genesis. Every single detail in our world is designed by God and created for us to enjoy. The sky, the water, the plants, and animals like me. God created the world and said it was good. So, take a look around you. You can see God's love in the sky. You can hear God's love for you when birds sing in the trees outside. And you can even taste God's love when you eat your favorite food. And you can share God's love too. When you see someone who's sad, your kindness shows God's love. Try to capture God's beautiful love and share it with someone today. It's a great way to spot a smile. God always loves us.
We are going to get to spend all month with our new friend Savannah. That's really cool. Savannah Giraffe lives in the savannah. Really cool. Did you know that a baby giraffe was called a calf? I think I might have known that, but I have forgotten. Super cool fun fact. If you know any fun facts about giraffes, go ahead and send them to me. I would love to learn about my favorite animal as well as learning about Savannah. Now, as you saw in the video, our Bible verse for this week is found in the book of Ephesians, and it's Ephesians 3:18, and it says, "And may you have the power to understand, as all God's people should, how wide, how long, how high, and how deep His love is." We're talking about God's love for us. We've learned that God always loves us and He provides what we need. And this verse is one we are going to work on all month long because it's such a great verse. Ephesians 3:18. Now inside your box, you actually have this verse typed out right now, and you have a piece of thicker paper. Maybe this color, maybe a different color. So what you're going to do is we're going to do some verse practice together. So pull that out of your box, and I'm going to give you a few minutes. I want you to have some fun decorating it. If you want to cut it out a little bit and then glue it onto the paper, you can, or you can just glue it straight onto the paper so it's a little bit thicker. You can add some stickers, add some designs, you can color on the back. It's yours. Have some fun with it. So that's what you're doing today, or this week. You're going to go ahead and get your verse, and I want you to practice writing. You can practice writing out this verse. You're like, Miss Ma'am, I can't write yet. That's okay. You can practice saying it. So trace over it with your finger. Point to each word as you say it and practice it with your mom, dad, brothers, and sisters. And guys, maybe you're like, oh, it's such a long verse. We have all month to learn this. So maybe you just do one part at a time. That's okay. Pick a phrase, practice the whole thing. Doesn't matter. We are going to be working on this verse together. So today, your verse challenge, your verse practice is to glue it, tape it, attach it however you want to this paper. And if you want to decorate it, you can, and practice saying it. So let's say it together. And may you have the power to understand, as all God's people should, how wide, how long, how high, and how deep His love is. Ephesians 3:18. So take a minute, take a few minutes, practice this verse together with your family, practice a part of it, and do that all week long. And next week we'll have another verse challenge to do with that. Now, before you go anywhere, I want to show you a couple things from your box and explain what they are. Now, you should have gotten inside your box a challenge card. Now, I don't know if you were wondering what it's for, but I am going to show you. So on the back, you have 3 different sections. We have watch it, do it, and learn it. And then under each of those sections, there are 4 boxes, and they're labeled week 1, week 2, week 3, and week 4. So every week, I'm going to have some challenges for you, some different things to do. And when you complete this whole thing, next month, when you come get your November box, if you bring me this card and you have all the boxes checked off, you are going to get a special prize. Now, you've watched all these videos, so you have already done the watch it section. Grab your pen or your pencil or your marker and go ahead and check off week 1. You've already watched the video. Now for do it, what I would like you to do is inside your box, you have some other sheets. These are some weekly sheets, and they show at the very bottom, it has Unit 1, Week 1. Now, if you are in preschool or kindergarten, your sheet looks like this. Got our animals on the back with our Savannah on the back. And if you are in 1st through 5th grade, yours looks a little bit like this. The airplane on the back. So what you're going to do for the do it section is I want you to read this, talk about it with your mom, your dad, your family, your siblings. There's also some things to color, and some of your older ones, you can turn this into a paper airplane, which I know you guys are really, really good at. So for the do it section, do these papers. It doesn't have to be today. It can be later this week. Just anytime this week, make sure you look over these, discuss it with your families, and then you can check off the do it section. And the last section is the learn it section. We're talking about the Bible verse. So if you already did the activity for this week, which is decorating your verse sheet, practicing saying it, then you can check that off too. So super important challenge cards. Watch it, do it, learn it, complete this whole sheet, bring it back to me. We'll get you a special prize. Guys, I had so much fun with you today, learning some different things with you. And remember, God always loves us. Wow, God. Absolutely. Now, guys, I want you to spend some time this week looking at God's creation and just thinking about how much God loves us. Have a great week. Send me videos, send me pictures of you doing these different things. And if you have any really good jokes, go ahead and send them to me. Now, I love you. Jesus loves you more, and I hope to see you again next week right here tonight. Bye.